All right, that was a network there. Okay, so like I said, the importance of mentorship, it's very important. We cannot even overemphasize it in our journeys. There are some people that have gone ahead of us, and when we ride on their backs, it makes our journeys easier. It makes things a whole lot easier for us. We cannot see, there's something they call generations, and we cannot despise any generation. We cannot even afford to despise or to look down or to trivialize any generation whatsoever. So every generation is important. Every generation. Now we have the Gen Z, and the Gen Z are making it look like all our fathers and forefathers and mothers, they are old school. They make it look like, oh, these people, they don't understand us and we don't understand and we do not even want to understand. There's so much. In fact, it's not even a thing different. The difference between this generation and the older generation is so much, and which I also have issues with. So there's a program I was at during the week. I watched it online, and this couple, they said that generations they're not for replacement, they are for reinforcement, right? So this new generation are coming up, they are not meant to replace the older generations, they are meant to reinforce the older generation. So we're meant to work hand in hand, because the truth is, you cannot deny the experience, the importance of experience. It is very, very important in our life's journey. Some people have gone ahead, they've experienced some things that when you just ride on their backs and when you are just following them, it saves you a whole lot. It saves you a whole lot of time, wasted years, wasted time, wasted effort, because this person has gone ahead. This person has seen it all, and this person is mentoring you. You are following this person. So you are able to avoid such mistakes. You are able to avoid such setbacks. What set this person back? You're able to avoid it in your own journey, and it makes it a whole lot easier. You become even 10 times better. You begin to achieve things that you are meant to achieve in 10 years. You achieve it in less than 5 years. And that is what we are talking about. So we have not come to replace the older generation. We have come to reinforce them. We have come to work together hand in hand. It's a joint effort. So this synergy should be there. And I just hope that for the younger generation, you are listening, and just know that, see, there is no know-it-all anywhere. That's the truth. There is no know-it-all anywhere. We are working together. We are working hand in hand with the older ones, with the older generation, to actually fulfill purpose. Okay, I think our guest is back. All right, let's go ahead. You can drop your comments. What are the learnings for you? What have you picked? One or two things that you have picked. Please drop it in the comment. Okay, Pastor Remy, the network is really acting up.
Yes, I think it's because I'm on the move.
All right, you can go ahead.
So I feel that if everybody has a guard, you have a mentor, you have people that can guard you, people that can talk to you, we have lesser problem in the society. Because a lot of times most people just feel that they know what they are doing, and nobody is saying that you don't know what they are doing, you don't know what you are doing. But I always tell people that God gave us the first opportunity of creating a man and a woman, that's Adam and Eve, and told them also, to fellowship with him. And so when he noticed that they didn't listen to that advice, that's why we are where we are today. If they had listened to God, if they had placed mentoring over them, because they felt that they are the first man and the first woman, but God that created you has been there, and is the one that created you. So if they had spoken to God, not people, I'm sure there are a lot of mistakes in the human race, in the human era, that wouldn't have happened. So I always tell people that I don't know about any other person, but my own story cannot be completed without what's it called?
Mentoring, mentorship, the essence of
Mentorship.
mentorship. Yeah.
Yes, I cannot. And you see, I always tell people that there are formal mentoring, and there are informal mentoring, and both are also needed. There are some people that, you might not have the opportunity of getting close to them, of having access to them,
Yeah.
but they, they inspire you a whole lot.
Yeah.
They 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 they, um, they have like a voice in your life. They you When you see them, you're inspired. When you
Mm.
see them, yeah, a lot of people, you know, all across the globe. Sometimes I get messages and people are like, "Ma, this thing you just posted now is very inspiring to me. Ma, what you did here is very Ma, I saw you at something and I was very inspired. Ma, I'm like, are you serious?" So the thing is, that was how people used to tell me also about my mentor. So I always tell people that the life you are living, if you choose to seek counsel, if you choose to follow the right, steps of people, if you choose to do a whole lot of things, it's not just because you want to do it. It's also because there are some people you are also leading, directly or indirectly.
Mm.
So I tell people the so-called what was it called?
We can't hear you. I cannot hear you again.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yes.
So I said now that there are some people that they feel that when they tell you don't do this, you feel that they don't love you.
Mm.
Now I treasure the relationship I've had with my mentors. One common thing with this generation is that when you look at them, most of them change mentors like they are changing tire. Before you know it, that person is no longer their mentor. This person is not their new mentor. This person is not that. You know, it's from this generation that I heard that they speak about relationship expires. Oh, of course, sometimes the relationship might have expired in your own eyes, just like Oprah and Naomi. But Ruth did not allow that relationship to expire. Ruth maximized that relationship. So when God places people in your life, number one, do you first thank God for the opportunity? Number two is that do you value the opportunity? Because most people don't. Most people don't. Do you value the opportunity? So the thing is, I always tell people that they should. Most people should. Most people. Most people should value opportunity of mentoring because it's an opportunity. I always tell people that what does it cost you when somebody has fallen into a ditch before and the person is trying to tell you that don't fall into this ditch, avoid this ditch, avoid this, avoid that, avoid this.
Yeah.
You
Makes
some
it
people,
makes it a whole lot easier for
yeah,
you.
it might not sound or look or be palatable to you. It might not even be interesting. It might be boring. Imagine, imagine Esther getting instruction at every point in time.
Mm.
I remember at our women conference earlier this year, I spoke about the mistakes of Vashti. Because a lot of people, we always talk about Esther. Have we taken time to talk about Vashti? Vashti was once upon a queen. In that time, one of the things I also want to talk about, for the younger generation is that most people don't talk about old age. Most people don't talk about old age. Most people don't talk about old age. You know, most people don't talk about old age. That the things you are doing now, at some point you'll not be able to do it again. The opportunities you have now, at some point you may not have the opportunity again. You may never have the opportunity again. So the people that are counseling you now, they love you, they have the time for you, they may not have that time again. So when you look at Vashti had the opportunity of being the queen, opportunity of being, hosting over 120 province, And then, because she did not have the right card, she messed up the opportunity. There was nobody who could tell her that, you know, Queen, whatever it is you are planning to do, or whatever it is you are doing that is wrong. Nobody, you know. So I always tell people that you might be enjoying it, that you are free, you have your life, you want to go to people, because there are even some mentors that they will never tell you the truth. There are some mentors that they will never tell you the truth. You know? So I always tell people that make sure you have people that will always tell you the truth. The people that would, tell you the truth, the people that would will speak to you without minding words. The people that you can, bear your heart to, and they will tell you things without minding words. But everybody wants to be their own boss. People don't like, oh, I don't want this person to know what I'm doing. I don't want. That was what brought Vashti down. There were people that couldn't tell Vashti that this is what she's doing wrong.
Okay, thank you so much, Pastor Remy. Um, like before you came back in, I was just trying to summarize all you have said, and basically, in fact, you've spoken basically about mentoring tonight, and I know there is a purpose for you talking about mentoring. I know there is a purpose for it, and I believe that every one of us are learning. Some of us appreciate it, but some of us like take it for granted. Like, I don't need it, but we cannot throw it aside. It's very important in our journey of becoming. It's part of the journey. It's part of our journey. So thank you so much. I would like you to quickly share, because I know that it took you a while before you got married, right? And
Yeah.
I want you to share briefly, because of our time. I would like you to share briefly on the journey and how were you able to cope in those, especially for our singles that are here, because I know we have a lot of singles who have passed the age of even getting married, and they are wondering, they are giving up, they are tired already. I have a lot of them in my corner. They're like, so I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that. And you happen to fall in that category, and you also have a singles platform. So what would you advise such singles? How were you able to surmount that mountain? How were you able to cope during that season? And um, what advice do you have for us singles?
So I always tell people that I will always advise anybody that is single that it's better to marry late than marry
Mm,
wrong.
wow. Yeah.
And I always tell people that it's people that judge timing. My husband, I met my husband 7 years before we met again. Yes. So I had met my husband in 2007. I only saw him once. In fact, I didn't meet him. He saw me once. I went with a pastor of mine from school for a program, and he was there because he was also a pastor, so he was there. And he saw me for the first time after that time in 2014. And he
Wow.
recognized me. He was saying, I know this lady. I was like, I know you. I know you. And I'm like, I don't know you. So sometimes I look at him and I said, I I can boldly say that, oh, I've gotten married 15 years ago, because God knew it then. Oh, let me even now shock you. The guy I was dating then, okay, when I met my husband, I had not met that guy. The guy I dated before I met my husband, I had not met him when I met my own husband. But I think that God knows that this is what I'm going to do, this is who I'm going to be, and this is what I'm going to be doing. And God was building me.
Mm,
God was building me. So because you know, you know why God was doing it for me that way? Because it wasn't even funny. At that time, I was like, God, what exactly is happening to me? What exactly is happening to me? Because I was always going for weddings. In a week, I can have like 8 weddings.
Wow.
In a week,
Hmm.
the minimum I attend in a week, the minimum, I'm not even joking, it's like 5 that I attend in a week. Is like 5. So a lot of times I'm like, God, what exactly is happening? And sometimes I'm like, so at some point I sat back and I said, God, is this something you're trying to tell me that I'm not understanding? And one day, because I usually do prayer work, and I was working. I was praying, I was worshiping, I was tongue praying, and I just started crying like, God, where's my husband? I'm tired of living this. I God, what exactly is happening? God? At that point, I was just crying on the street. I was just crying like, God, I'm just tired. I'm tired, like, ah. So, and the Lord told me then, and He said, I will make everything beautiful in my
Hmm.
time.
My own time.
So,
Yeah.
at that point in time, I just thought, oh, I'm the one worrying myself. So, because before I met my husband, I had a relationship, and the Lord said I should break it. And everybody around me said that, and in fact, it was as if I'd met the guy's family. So, it was just for the guy to meet my own family, and I started having this unrest in my spirit. I started having, and I'm like, what exactly is happening? So, sometimes God is testing your abilities.
Hmm.
At work, before they will promote you, before they will do appraisal, people they first see what you can do. They will first do
Yeah.
appraisal now. They see
Yeah.
what you can do. They see what you can. While you are waiting, what are you doing?
Hmm. True.
Because a lot of people feel that they are ready. I cancel newlyweds, and sometimes I see some things from their wedding, from their wedding preparation. I'll tell them, this oh my Emma need problem, and you will still come back. I
Hmm.
know some things that are very, very, but there are some people that I know that these ones they cannot have issues, because God has worked on them. So a lot
Hmm.
of times, the waiting period, God is working on you, because
Yeah.
what God is bringing is more than what you are waiting for. You see,
Wow.
when I married my husband, I used to tell myself that if I had married my husband 2007 when I met him, let's say we got married 2008 or 2009, by now I'll be single.
You what?
By now, I'll be single.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because the me then, there are things that happen to me and I'm like, is it me? Are you serious? There are things that I do now that I'm like, can you imagine? And that's because God has really worked on me. Back in the back then, oh, was I born again? Yes. But did I understand the act of long suffering? No. Did I have patience? No. You see, a lot of times, a lot of us singles, you know what we're concerned about? Number one, we're concerned about the gifts of the Spirit, neglecting the fruits of the Spirit. And they are both important.
Hmm.
The gifts of the Spirit and the
Hmm.
fruit of the Spirit, they are both important. I always tell people that, you see, while you are waiting, number one, get yourself together. Put your life in shape. Be whoever you want to marry.
Hmm.
Be
Wow.
whoever. Some people, you just see a guy, say, if this guy can be my husband, can you be his wife? Are you are you that person? I remember when we first got my husband would say, Are Bale Koko. I'm like, what? What? Ah, my husband can be very, very, very quiet, and I'm learning how to be quiet with him. And sometimes I've realized that sometimes it pays to be quiet sometimes. So the normal me before now, the things I would have done, the normal me, the way I would have. So I realized that God has changed me. God has worked on me before I got into that marriage. So for someone crying to God that God, why? God, when? God is saying that I will make everything beautiful in my own time. While you are waiting, I am working.
Yeah. Wow, I love
So
that.
while you are waiting, God is working. Because what God is bringing is bigger. So there are some platforms that if was God, if I had not waited, I would have messed it up. If I had not waited, I wouldn't have gotten, you know, that kind of gifts. And the same thing with my husband. You know, one day, I mean, it was just recently, my mother-in-law was traveling, and then she stopped over at her house before going on a trip. And, you know, we had the opportunity of discussing and everything. And then when my husband left the room, my mother-in-law said, hey, that my husband has changed. So I was like, really? My mother-in-law said, yes. That what she said right now, that my husband would have gotten angry. And that
Wow.
that he was seated and he was just looking. That he has changed. I'm like, are you serious? I said, can you imagine? So imagine my husband then. And imagine me too then. Do you get it? Imagine
To
the
that
combination of the two
trust.
of us. Then you will now say irreconcilable differences. It's because you didn't allow God to work on you. And God can work on anybody. I tell people, God can work on anybody. So there were a lot of things. God was testing me there. For one auntie praying out that, hey, where is this brother? God, when is he going to come? My biological clock is ticking. God, God. God wants to make everything beautiful in his own time.
Alright. Yeah. Hmm.
He wants to
Thank
make
you so
you know,
much.
and I'll round up by saying that the Bible says that God is not a man that he will lie.
Hmm.
So God will not because of you become a liar. If he has
Yeah,
said it, he
true.
will do it. He has said that none shall lack their mates.
Hmm.
None shall lack their mates, including you. You will not lack your mates. So if he has said that you will not lack your mates, you will not lack your mates.
Hmm.
You will not lack your mates. So for everyone, everybody saying that, God, when? Don't worry. It is God now. Or anyone asking God how? His own way. His own way is the how. So
Hmm.
he's going to do things his own way.
Hmm.
Because sometimes when you ask God, how is that? How is it that this person is getting married and I'm not married? This person is. I always thank God for my waiting period
Hmm. Wow.
because I got
Wow.
the best,
Hmm.
and I'm sure my husband too has that story to tell. The story is mutual. So anyone listen to me, whatever it is you are waiting for someone maybe you are waiting for a promotion, for someone maybe you are waiting for a life partner, and it's as if God is not God is like God has forgotten you. You know, you can get to that point where you feel like God has forgotten you.
Sure.
You know, you can get to that point where you feel that what exactly is happening. I remember I had my pastor then when I was in Fountain of Life Church, Pastor Kole Shorion. Pastor Kole Shorion waited on God for the fruit of the womb for 9 years. I think for 7 or 9 years. I can't even remember that. And one day he was preaching in church. Some of you are angry with God. You are angry with God that you are waiting on God. You are a fine man. You have money, you have everything. But wife, no. You are angry. You are a fine woman. You have a good job. You have everything. But husband, no. He said, do you know that you can actually help God? But you are not helping God. You are waiting on him. And he mentioned to everybody, he said, how many of you know that for several years I has been waiting for the fruit of the womb? That one day just told God, said, God, what exactly is hard in this thing? Like, as he was praying, he just saw a mad woman carrying pregnancy. But this
Hmm.
woman is mad. How did she get pregnant? And God said, and he was taken aback and he was like, this person is mad, truly, truly. And he said, if God can give a mad person a child, how much more me? He said that was when he just told himself that, say it's God, he will do it. And today they have a wonderful, I call that boy professor. That boy.
That's what God
Watch
can
out for
do.
that boy. That's what. So I always tell people that waiting period, God is working on you. It's not that God has forgotten you, no. Especially if you are a child of God. If you are a child of God and you know that you are a child of God, no. Your reward will not elude you. Your reward will not elude you. Just keep serving God. Keep working on yourself. When that marriage will come, you not even remember to call Pastor, but call Pastor to say, Pastor, Pastor Toyosi, I want to share this testimony with you. I want to share this. God has done. You have forgotten to call Pastor Toyosi.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage anyone that is waiting on God, whatever it is you're waiting on God for a life partner, for promotion at work, for fruit of the womb, whatever it is you're waiting on God for. God is not a man that he will lie. If he has said it, he will do it. He will make everything, including everything, beautiful in his time.
Wow. Thank you so much, Pastor Remy. God bless you. You have blessed us. You have blessed us tremendously tonight. Can we have comments? I don't think we can take questions again because of our time, but I know that we'll be bringing Pastor Remy back. So one takeout. Can you share your takeout with us in the comment section? Like I said earlier, we want to make this as interactive as possible. We want to make it so interactive, and we want to know that you've been able to gain something. She said that whatever it is you are waiting for, whatever, for singles, if you are waiting for a life partner, just don't worry. I want you to know that God is working on you. While you are waiting, God is working. You heard what she said. So while we are waiting for whatever it is we are waiting on God for, keep working on yourself. Keep improving yourself. Keep up with personal development. Keep up with training yourself. Keep up with being better than who you were and being who you want to be. Praise the Lord. So whatever it is we're waiting on God for, let us improve ourselves. Let us keep working at our own end while God is working on us. Don't give up. There is no reason why we should give up. And another important fact I'm going to note here is that we should know the word of God for ourselves. Know the word, know scriptures. And when you know scriptures, you are able to hold on to these scriptures. You are able to hold on. They are able to build faith in you that for God to have said it, God does not have a track record of lying. He has a track record of always keeping his words. And for him to have said it, I know that it will definitely come to pass. So I believe that we've all learned something today. Thank you all so much for joining and for always joining. Our guest is amazing. We really appreciate her. Network has been very bad, but we thank God we're able to get something from this session. So please join us again on our platform. Just watch out for the next guest. We're going to have an amazing guest very, very shortly. So just join us. If you're not following us, you can do well to follow The Journey with Toyosi on Instagram. Just follow now. Follow our guest too. She's an amazing woman. Follow her. And don't forget the essence and importance of mentoring. Oh, thank you, Mrs. MC Peters. Mentoring is important in everyone's life journey. If that is one thing you will live with today, please let us take it. Let us ride on the backs of those who have gone ahead. They have gone ahead for a reason. And there's this adage that says that experience is the best teacher. Experience is the best teacher. We cannot overemphasize the place of experience in becoming, in our journey of becoming. So thank you once again for joining. Thank you, Mrs. Thompson. I feel honored. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everyone, for joining. You are all important to us. Thank you so much. I'll be looking forward to having you again at our next session. We're going to have an amazing guest, and I promise you don't want to miss this session. So I remain Toyosi, your host on The Journey with Toyosi. Please don't go and sleep on these words. Ensure that you work on them, you work with them, you keep working at them, and become that person that God has called and ordained you to be. Thank you all so much. It's an honor hosting you tonight. God bless you. Have an amazing weekend. Bye. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Thank everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.